Then shall we continue? The victim's fatal...
The explosion didn't kill...
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't you running...
Oh, yeah. That's gotta be it.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body. Then shall we continue? The victim's fatal...
The explosion didn't...
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't you because of the knife, right?
Oh, yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
Shoot!
Then shall we continue? The victim's fatal...
The explosion didn't kill her.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't you running...
Oh, yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the...
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire... Then shall we continue? The victim's
fatal injury had...
No, that's wrong! Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then... what was the murder weapon? The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh! I bet it was the pickaxe!
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of... I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground and spit on it.
I feel the same way! Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master!
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something. And that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow? That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds... kinda weird. Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master! You have no right! I'm not backtalking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin. Talking back to Master! You have no right!
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin. Talking back to you have no right!
The titanium, it was in the dojo. I have no doubt that...
Are you sure?
You don't sound
Well, because it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe. It seems like an arrow would just be too thin. Talking back to you have no right!
The titanium, it was in the dojo. I have no doubt.
Are you sure?
You don't sound
Well, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as... It seems like an arrow would just be too...
No, that's wrong! You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably uses duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kiyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto? What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to the death of us all. Remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kiyoko went to the dojo.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kiyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just, there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kiyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait, I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know. Those words you just spoke, what do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly, I'm not the killer. You should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would
there's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You said I hid and then left
The locker key in my own room, correct?
Shoot!
Those words you just...
Exactly, I'm not, but you should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would
there's proof that you aren't the culprit.
Is that what you're...
You said I hid and then left the but could I really have done that?
Those words you just...
Exactly, I'm not, but you should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would
there's proof that you aren't the culprit. Shoot!
Those words you just...
Exactly. I'm not, but you should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would never.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
is that what you're...
You stated that you said I hid the evidence and then left the locker key in my own room, correct?
Shoot!
I refuse to give up yet!
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly. I'm not, but you should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would never.
there's proof that you... Is that what you're...
You stated that you said I hid the evidence and then left the locker key in my own room. But could I really have done that?
Those words you just...
Exactly. I'm not, but you should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would never hide something.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
No, that's wrong! If I'm right, Kiyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room
Why not?
because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room,
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
it would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.